Hey, so are you someone who knows you're here to make the world a more beautiful, more loving, awesome place? You have ideas inside of your mind that you are ready to put out there into the world, changing lives as you go, including your own. Is that you? Are you a deliberate person, ready to deliberately design a life that allows you to do work that makes you come alive? If that's you, this is for you, man. This is for you. This is for you. We're talking, and this is our third one in the series here. So, I've put this thing in my ear. I didn't want to do that. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to share this around the place, but we're going to be talking today about how to build an audience that absolutely adore what you do. Because, okay, and the first one that I'm talking about 5 C's, okay? I'm talking about 5 C's. The first C was clarity of purpose. You need to listen to the videos, okay? The first C was clarity of purpose, clarity of what's going on inside of you. You need to clear those blocks so that you can get to do the work that you're actually here and called to do. The second thing was communicate. So we talked about that yesterday, communicating so you attract the right kind of people into your world. And the third thing, I'm sorry, I'm sharing this at the same time as I get on with this. Come on, miracle makers, let's talk. Yes, and then the final, well, today's thing we're talking about is capture. The third C is capture. And then tomorrow or whenever I can do it, I will be talking about closing. And then we'll be talking about confidence and consistency. Now, do you love my colorful thing? When I shake my head a bit, well, either it disappears or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's sing the affirmation before we start. I'm Rosemary Noni Knight. This is the Deliberate live stream. Okay, I'm very much about supporting and equipping people to prosper in all areas of their life, in their relationships, health, wealth, and in the purpose-driven work. Not just any old work, okay? We don't just give ourselves to any old work. We give ourselves to work that means something to us, right? Because we're all here for a reason, right? We're all here for a purpose. We're all here, and most of you in this community, you want to change lives. You want to change. You know you're here for something specific, man. Okay? So let's not waste time doing things that we're not actually born to do. Let's do things that we are called to do. But anyway, that's about prosperity for me. I don't think you can be prosperous if you're doing something you don't actually want to do. Sorry. Affirmation for this week is, I give thanks for the wonderful new clients. I give thanks for the swift influx of wealth. It flows so easily to me. I give thanks. Okay, here we go. I give thanks for the wonderful new clients. I give thanks for the swift influx of wealth. It flows so very easily to me. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. That's your affirmation for the week, and I will sing it so many times that it will stick in your mind. Okay? So that is it. That's why I do these things. It's so that you start to give thanks for what is coming to you. We get past all the nonsense of, anyway, we talked about that in day 1. But today, actually, as I was coming to do the live stream, the story that came to mind for me was actually one of Jesus. There's this story of him when he started his ministry. I think it's supposed to be about 30 years or something, 30 years old. And he has a message that he wants to deliver on the world, right? He goes straight to the temple where the people that he feels called to speak to, that's where they are. So he goes straight in there. He stands up and declares himself boldly. Okay? At this point, most people try to throw him off a cliff or something because they're thinking, who are you and how dare you think that? Now, we talked about communication yesterday, and that is it. You communicate who you are and what you're here to do and what you're here to who you're here to serve. Okay, you do that. You're communicating. This is exactly what Jesus did. If you're into Jesus, well, okay. And then the other thing that occurred to me that he did was this. He then approached some person or some people who were doing some fishing, and he said, "Hey, do you want to be fishers of men?" Okay, and these were fishermen. So he says, "Do you want to be fishers of men?" And they put their hand up and say, "You know what? Yeah, okay, I'll come with you." And so they come with him. So he goes from starting announcing himself, okay, and building a bit of an audience by communicating who he is. And then he goes deeper. Now we're taking you deeper from just one of the crowd that knows of me, that kind of is interested in what I have to say. Now I'm going to ask you to come deeper into my world. Do you want to be a fisher of men? And how does this apply to you, that spiritual, deliberate person who wants to change lives, who wants to, you know, you have something, you have a message. Yes, you are communicating yourself, okay? And then you're asking people to come deeper into your world. How do you do that? Okay, like an example in my business is that I say, hey, I have this awesome, simple 7-day miracle experiment. The people, I know that I'm here to equip people to prosper in all areas of their life. And one way that I can do that is by supporting them in opening up to more prosperity. So I give them a free experiment. 7 days, 14 days experiment. Come into my world. You will be taught a very simple, the prosperity principles that will allow you to experience a prosperity miracle in the first 7 to 14 days. Okay, and most of the people that actually play full out in this, they get that. Okay, so that is my hey, do you want to be a fisher of men thing? Okay, that is my lead magnet. That is my, hey, are you actually ready to stop just talking and thinking, well, what Rosemary says is cool, but actually, are you ready to go from that to, okay, I'm willing to actually make the next move? And so then I ask the question, would you like to come and take part in the simple miracle experiment? Some people say yes, other people say it's a scam, man. Other people try and throw me off a cliff. And and on it goes, ultimately. And as a spiritual person, you have to do exactly the same thing. You now need to get people from just being vaguely interested in what you have to offer to the next level. There may be next levels and next levels and next levels, okay? But you know what? You still need to capture them. You need to capture their attention more than just vaguely knowing of you. And actually, whilst I remember this, let me vaguely move you from being vague into joining the experiment. If you haven't done it already and you're in this community and you're interested in the kind of things that I talk about, then yes, you too need to go do the experiment. It's rosemarynunnieknight.com/experiment. See how I did that right there. So, but you as whatever your business is, whatever it is that you want to put out into the world, you need to first and foremost get people interested in what you have to offer. And that's what I said yesterday, communicate. And now you need to capture them in closer. Now we have social media these days. So yes, maybe the next step is actually just to get them onto your Facebook page or your Instagram profile or whatever, watching what you're up to. For me, I go further than that. I'm asking people to give me, to do a bit more of a tit for tat here. Give me your email address so that I can stay in touch with you off social media. And then I will give you this simple miracle experiment. Okay, you can get access to that. And I personally think that every single person that even comes into my world in any way needs to go through that process in order to really fully, truly appreciate the work that I do. Because if you're not even open to prosperity in the first place, then what? So it's like these fishermen, if they hadn't said, yes, you know what? I do feel like being a fisher of men, basically, and you seem kind of interesting. I'll come and find out more about you. That this is the fisherman saying this to Jesus, and then they become his disciples. Okay, now we're not necessarily looking for disciples, but we are looking for people who actually are into the stuff that we have to offer. Okay, especially if you're someone that, like, for the work that I do, the chances I'm going to be working with someone on a longish term basis, even if I'm working with somebody for a month or for a 3-hour period, I want to be sure that we're going to get on. So if they don't even like the first thing I offer, then we won't get that far. Same goes with you. Okay, now if you're selling just a product that you can buy and run off and never actually see you again, then maybe it doesn't matter as much to you. But to me, I want to build a community of people that I actually wake up in the morning and think, hey, I get to hang out with those people. Yes! Basically, and that's how I feel about my Deliberate Success Incubator. That's how I feel about the miracles, because I run a group around the miracle experiment. That's how I feel about it. That's how I feel about the page as well. I feel excited to come and say, hey guys, let's do this together, or what's happening, or blah, blah, blah. All of that stuff. It excites me. And that's because I'm trying very hard to only attract people who get my energy, who are into this. And if you're not into this, then it's best that you go away. Okay? So that's capturing, ultimately. That is you capturing people. So taking them from being vaguely interested in what you have to say to now putting their hand up and saying, you know what, I will give you something in return for a bit more of your information. Okay? That is what you need to do. So you need to figure out, what is my lead magnet? What is the thing that will attract people, that is a yes to the right kind of person? The right kind of person who would be interested in what I have to offer them. Okay? Now, yes, you can go straight to selling your thing if you want to. The chances are that most people will not go straight to buying your thing just from hearing you communicate. What they will do is, hey, I want to find out more about this person. And then you can follow up with them, and then maybe, but we'll be talking about closing tomorrow. But sometimes people are trying to go straight from the, hey, I vaguely know of you, to buy my stuff, which can work, but maybe it's not going to work as well as you putting something in between, okay? So that you can follow up with people. Sometimes repetition really helps you get your message across to them. Now, all of this stuff that we do, especially for us as spiritual people, as deliberate people, we know that we carry something, we have something that can help people. So, you know, when I'm speaking about this stuff, if you're feeling too, oh, this is not spiritual and this and that and the other, well, I just gave you an example of exactly how Jesus did it, okay? But more to the point, understand that if you do want the privilege of living out the call on your life, if you want the privilege of living out the call on your life, there are certain things that you must be willing to do. You need to be willing to understand human nature a little bit better than you do right now. Don't assume that, oh, well, my thing is so great, I shouldn't have to do anything except open my mouth, maybe, except most people don't even open their mouth. All that, effectively, there's just this assumption that I said it once and everybody should know me now, and if they wanted it, they would have come for it, and if they haven't come, that must mean they don't want, who knows what the thinking is. But whatever your thinking is this, honey, be willing to do whatever it takes to get the privilege of putting your message out into the world and serving people the way you really dream of doing it. Don't see it as beneath you to do this stuff. Sometimes as spiritual people, there's this sense of, well, you know, the doors would be open if it was really the thing that I'm supposed to do, then maybe it would be easier. And when I say easy, because what I'm talking about here isn't hard. It isn't hard for you to think to yourself, what kind of person do I want to attract into my world and what would get their attention? It's not hard to think about that stuff. You just need to do it. And then, yeah, you might say, oh, but what of the technical stuff? How am I supposed to set it all up? That's easy enough to learn. You can learn yourself, or you can come into the Deliberate Success Incubator and take part in the Business Hero Bootcamp. I teach you all of that stuff. It's very easy to learn this stuff. Just stop putting obstacles in your path. Stop putting obstacles in your path. We are here for a reason. We're here to change lives, okay? So take that responsibility very, very seriously and start figuring out, how can I get their attention? How can I get them to consume even more of what I have to offer? The right ones, the right people that I am called to serve. How can I serve them so much? How can I love them so that they see, hey, let's go on to the next step here, okay? Let's go on to the next step here. Okay, so think about that. Think about that. What can be my lead magnet and how can I get it out there to the people that I'm here to serve? Okay, let's sing this affirmation and bring this to a close. Share this with somebody, anybody that wants to make a difference in the world in a bigger, bolder way than they are currently. Then let them hear this stuff and let them watch all the parts so far. I give thanks for the wonderful new clients. I give thanks for the swift influx of cash. It flows, it flows, it flows so very easily to me. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. One more time. I give thanks for the wonderful new clients. I give thanks for the swift influx of cash. It flows, it flows, it flows so very easily. Now bear this in mind, guys. Everything is spiritual. If you find yourself singing that affirmation and you feel uncomfortable thinking, oh my gosh, everything is spiritual, okay? Everything we do is all part and parcel of the same box. So don't try to separate everything, okay? Don't try to separate everything. Oh, this is my spiritual little box over here, and this is my marketing box, and this is when I'm doing my work box. And no, let it all be part and parcel of the same thing, okay? Okay, on that note, I'm going to bring this to a close. Much amazing love. Share with someone. Join in the experiment if you haven't done it. And just do these simple little things that I'm asking you to do so that you can start to make the difference that you feel called to make on this planet. Oh, I'm glad you were, Tanya. Cool. Excellent stuff. Glad the affirmation is getting in there. Excellent. Okay, then. See you on the call later, Tanya. Yes. I'm going to assume yes. Okay, then. Bye. Much amazing love. Bye.